So the eThekwini Mayor Mxolisi has announced that families will receive burial support of 15,000 rand for each member who was killed in these recent floods. And this is thanks to a donation by the Motsepe Foundation after the disaster claimed more than 440 lives. To tell us more about this benefit, let's bring in the acting eThekwini City Manager, that's Musambele, who joins us via our video link this morning. Mbele, it's great to have you on. Thanks for your time. It's been more than 24 hours since this benefit was initially announced. I wonder how many families have come forward to make use of it.
Good morning, and good morning to your viewers. The figures are coming in. Yesterday we were sitting at over 300 applications. People phoning the office of the mayor, indicating that they would like to use this facility that has been made available.
Yeah. How many of those applications, Musa, as you and I are speaking, have been approved?
Because there's a lot of verification that needs to be done. As of yesterday evening, we had not approved a single one yet, but we are still doing verifications, and I'm sure this morning, because the support has been confirmed by the Motsepe Foundation, so we are definitely going to start making approvals this morning.
Sure. And I'm sure the public will be appreciative, I guess, of needing to make sure that it's the right people who get this money. But I see part of the requirements is the word I'm looking for people who actually need this assistance, is that they need the death certificate of the deceased. That makes sense, an ID copy of the beneficiary. But there's also a requirement that there needs to be a bank's account to which the money will be sent. For convenience, that makes sense, but I can see, a situation where families that exist in rural areas where they've never necessarily used a bank account, a situation where those families fall through the cracks. Is that a consideration you've made?
Yeah, we've made that a consideration. One of the things that we've decided to do was to work through the funeral parlors, who are basically going to ensure that this kind of support trickles down to those families, and that will help really to plug the gap, particularly for people that do not have bank accounts. The funeral parlors will ensure that all the requirements for a burial are met and are delivered to these people. So we don't see that being a challenge really going forward with the approach that we've decided to adopt.
Yeah. The Motsepe Foundation actually committed about, I think it's 30 million rand. If you do the math about even if everybody applies for this benefit and receives it, it won't necessarily reach 30 million. The question becomes, has there any decision been made about what the remaining funds will be used for?
Yes. Well, I can't say a decision has been made because we have just put an application to the foundation. The only thing that they've approved so far is the burial support, but we have put which comes to about 8 million rands or so, and then there's a remaining 22 million rands that still needs to be disbursed from that fund. So I can't speak on their behalf, but all I can assure you is that we have submitted applications ourselves. Those applications include vouchers for the family, to do aftercare post the funeral, because these people have lost everything. So they will need to go by for up to a period of about 2 months, trying to gather themselves and get back to normal life. So we've put that application. The second part that we have applied for is the acquisition of a water purification plant. There's a water purification plant that costs in the region of about 15 million rands that we've really applied to the foundation, so that we provide water in areas that are deprived whilst we are still trying to fix infrastructure. So it's a purification plant that is movable, that you can put next to a source of water, be it a dam or a river, extract water from there, purify it, and begin to supply to the communities that are in greatest of need. So we are still waiting for a decision on that one from the foundation.
Right. You know, Musa, we live in a country where we've seen situations where, for instance, government buildings have been paying ghost workers for years, essentially paying salaries to people who don't exist. And so, you know, I guess it should come as no surprise to you and I that there are people who are worried that there could be a situation where claims are made for victims that aren't there or for people who didn't die because of these floods. Is there a way of making sure that this process is transparent enough for scrutiny whilst protecting the privacy of, you know, those families who, for whatever reason, wouldn't want necessarily the public knowing that they're using this facility?
One of the considerations why we've decided to do it through funeral parlors is that we will then be in a better position to ensure that nothing of that sort happens. You
well,
see,
the funeral parlors, sorry to interrupt you there, the funeral parlors haven't always come out smelling like a bed of roses themselves. Let's be fair.
Yes, I do know. That's why I'm still trying to explain that we are going to ensure that we receive all the records, first of all, of the deceased before any money is transferred. Those records are obtainable from, in fact, we do have those records from the forensic medical laboratory, which will confirm that person A is deceased. This is the contact person, this is their contact details. We have staff on the ground as well that are going to do a verification and contact those people. Once those records are confirmed, then we can confirm with the foundation to start transferring money there. And over time, we will also do a post-burial verification to ensure that the money did indeed go to be used for what it was intended for. So there are checks and balances in place, and we are hopeful that nothing of that sort, the abuse of this money, is going to take place.
Sure. What does that mean about how long families would have to wait if they were to get a successful application? Because we know, of course, we're in a context where even culturally, many people would want to have the burial as soon as they can.
Yes, that's why I was saying that we are racing against time. There are indications from the weather service that there might be some rains over the weekend. So the soil has dried up. So we are experiencing the third day of sunshine, and we want to make use of this opportunity as far as possible to ensure that we dispatch this particular support. So from today, people are not going to wait longer. So from the applications that we have received today, of course, working with the foundations support infrastructure, we will want to ensure that we disperse these funds straight away so that our people do not have to wait for longer.
Musa Mbele is the acting eThekwini City Manager. Musa, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. Appreciate your time on the AM report.